Okay, hi, my name is Zoe Gutierrez, and this is my project for fall 2025 of MATLAB. I am kind of speed running this because I keep getting very long times. All right, I'm trying to get it under 10. All right, so first, this is where you're given your inputs. So my theme is Transylvania and Dracula. So you were taken by Dracula 15 years ago. Now you've woken up, try to escape before he finds you. All right, so that's when you first play the game, that's what's going to pop up. I have a input for rules. If you want to see the rules, press 1. Any other number skips the rules. All right, so, and if you press 1, display the rules, and it'll navigate the hallway. Else, you choose any other number, display you've chosen, skip the rules, and good luck. All right, to do my inputs for asking what you want to be, what color you want to be, what shape you want to be, it's going to be 3 while loops. And you're given 1, 2, or 3 as your options of blue, red, random color, square, circle, diamond, and then black, green, and random color for the walls. And if you choose anything else besides a 1, 2, or 3, you are going to be hit with a please enter 1, 2, or 3. And then since it's a while loop, once you pick whatever you want, it's going to break out of it so that it keeps that as whatnot, your secret color, whatever you chose. All right. And then this is me starting the plots. So this is making all the initial plots black, except for the first one, because the first one, that's where you're starting. Um, these are the character coordinates of where I want my character to, those are the stopping points in each plot, that those are going to be. You're going to start off in zone 1. This is me plotting zone 1, filling the colors, and then this is me plotting the character for the first time based off what you chose. And again, I'm referencing those character coordinates based off the zone and where you'll be. I also have my initial counters. So moves equals 0 right now because we've made no moves, and that it's going to be counting how many moves it took you to do. Key F, which is key found, equals 0 right now because once you find the key, it's going to change it into key 1, and then we'll go into that later because that's a whole different thing. And then when equals 0 right now because my whole while loop right now for movement is when equals 0. Once your when equals 1, it'll break out of this while loop and you will now be doing the celebration sequence. My key zone is randi plus 1 because it'll do 1 through 8 plus that 1 because I never wanted to be in the first zone because that's where you're starting. It wants to be in 2 through 9 only. And the key coordinates, obviously, we'll reference that again later, but it's basically the same coordinates as the character so that your character and the key intersect with each other. All right. So we'll run it. Welcome to Transylvania. Let's say I want to see the rules. 1. Here are the rules. All right, what color? I do random for all 3 because it's just easier. So random. I like being a diamond. Diamond. And then random as well. Here's where the subplots are going to pop up with all the black, except for the first one. All right, so this is where you go into your big while loop, where it's basically just copy paste for each zone. I did it based off each zone, so you'll see each movement for zone 1 through 9. And at the beginning of each zone, it will tell you the first thing you're going to see is you're in zone whatever, what direction do you want to move. So you're given your options. And then if based on those inputs, based on those inputs, if you cannot go that direction, it's going to tell you what directions you can't go. So since we're in zone 1, I can't go north because this is the edge, and I can't go west because this is also the edge. You can only go south or east. And then so basically to move my character, so if move equals south, every time you do a move, it's going to be that moves equals 1 because that's my counter to see how many times we're moving. To move my actual character from zone to zone, we are doing 2 for loops for each movement. So the first for loop, you're going to replot that plot that you are in at that current moment. and you're going to set that I for whichever direction you're going. So right now we're going south, so we're going 5 to 0 by -1. So we're going 5 to 0, -1, because we're moving into this plot. And then since we're going that way, we're replotting that character with that I in the Y coordinate of the character plot, so that because we're going downward. And then as you leave that plot, we're filling it with black because you don't want to see it anymore. And then that zone, since we're going into zone 4, it's going to be zone +3 because we're going from 1 to 4, so +3. And then basically now you're plotting the new zone. You're plotting the new zone that you're in, and since we're going into this one, you're going from 6 to 3, but you're not moving your X, you're just moving your Y. And then from here, it is going to check if the zone and the key zone are the same thing, as well as if key F is still 0, because that means you haven't found the key. If all those meet that requirement, it's going to plot the star, and that's referencing those key coordinates and the key zones from earlier, and it's going to be a yellow star. And then this is me just finishing plotting the new zone that you're in at that current moment. And then it's going to check if you're in the same zone. So if you're in the same zone as the key, it's going to display you have found the key, hurry back. And then that's going to change the key F to equals to 1. When that key F is equal to 1 and your zone is equal to 1, that's when your win is going to equal 1. When that win equals 1, then you'll get the celebration sequence, because you're not going to be in that win equals 0 while loop anymore, because you've won the game. So this is you winning the game, basically, is this key part right here, is that you found the key and you're back in zone 1. And basically it's copy paste for every direction. So you have 1 east. So now my I is actually going to be my X direction instead of my Y direction, because going that way, we're not going down, up and down anymore. And it's basically just copy paste for each zone. So I go through zone 2. I go through every zone. I go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every movement that you can do within each zone. So yeah, that's pretty much it for character movement. It's basically just 2 for loops for each movement. That's why this is so long, but all right, so we'll actually play the game. So we're in zone 1. Let's say we want to go south. See, we're moving south and we're going downward. Now we're just south again. Sometimes it will ask you to input it twice for it to actually start moving. I don't know why it's doing that, but it doesn't count anything against you. So look, so we can't continue going east, or we can't go south. So let's say we want to go east again. You cannot go that direction, which choose a new direction. So go up. See, it made me do it twice. I don't know why. I guess I just cannot find this key right now. Okay. It makes you do it twice sometimes. I don't. That one. Oh, found it. All right. So now that we found that key, hurry back to where you started. And then to show, we're going to go back into. I'm going to show that the key has disappeared. So we'll go back into that box. See how the key's gone, because you've already found it, so you don't need it anymore. All right, so now we're moving back into zone 1, and you have won the game. And then that's all the pretty colors that it gives you, and it does it 3 times. Wait for that to finish. Alrighty, and then that is doing that based off another for loop at the very bottom. Once that win equals 1, you're going to be hit with how many moves it took you. So congrats, you did it in 10 moves for that one. We did a for loop with I equals 1 to 3 because we want the colors to be randomized 3 times, and then JJ equals 2 to 9 because we want it to be in subplots 2 through 9. So subplots 2 through 9, filling it rand, and we're doing that 3 times. And that's the end of my game. Thank you.